Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
Hello everyone, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at True Heel Heat. Yeah!
Well, what do we got over here? Bada boom, Real's one in the room. How you doing? You are listening. Big boobs, huh? And you are listening to True Real Heat. How you doing?
What's up, True Heel Heat? True Heel Heat.
What's up?
True Heel Heat.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3, and we are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube and Facebook for our WWE Crown Jewel 2025 Perf preview with, of course, my co-host, the always honest, the always unfiltered, the everybody's favorite person on this channel, everybody's favorite person anywhere in wrestling media. It is the one and only Maggie. Maggie, how are you? How are you feeling? Great to see you.
Why would you voluntarily have Enzo Amore as an intro to your show?
Because I wanted that reaction.
I mean, without even a knife to your throat, you just voluntarily have Enzo Amore.
When our producer goes off on his adventures to get us the drops, I don't ask any question. If he wants to get this person, that person, if it's somebody that has an ongoing lawsuit, maybe we should steer clear of that. I say stuff like that. If it's someone like Enzo Amore, who everybody hates because they're annoying and because they're probably not a good person, but they don't have anything, they're not guilty of anything,
Yeah, illegal.
Yeah.
Just annoying.
Yeah.
Just annoying.
Yeah, you're just really annoying.
Yeah. I can get that. I mean, I can see that because he's definitely annoying. I'm doing good. I'm really, really sleepy. I've said this on last week's show with Rob. We have a bit of a flood situation because it hasn't stopped raining for like more than a week now. My bar is flooded.
Really?
Yep.
Oh no.
I missed a shift. Because who needs money, right? um, who needs money? So, it's a bit
Everyone.
iffy.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was a rhetorical question. I'm sorry.
yeah. Bill's being sarcastic, sweetie.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's not biblical or anything. It was biblical on around the seaside because that was ridiculous. People died, people lost their homes and everything. It was really, but like where I live, it's not that bad. I mean, it's not. People are okay, but like buildings are trying to drip. They're mm, so
Slow.
it's a bit iffy. I know that every time I open the bar, like tomorrow, I'm opening the bar tomorrow. I will be, busy for about 2 hours, mopping and stuff, and we're
Yeah.
just keeping our fingers crossed that the ceiling doesn't fall on a customer
Yeah.
because the ceiling backstage fell on top of my head last week. So, so let's not get a lawsuit from anyone
Yeah.
because that's not what we
Not
do.
have that bar as part of the ongoing lawsuit club.
Yeah, because like people won't have me on their show.
It's like she's
Or is
involved
that
in something.
yeah? Or is that just about intros? I'll be good on the
Yeah.
show because I'm
Yeah, I think you're good on the show, but
but
intros,
not on the show.
drops,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's a
No,
different
but
thing. How are
I
you?
am sorry to hear that. That sounds like a lot.
I know, but it has to just fucking stop raining all the time. If it's not too fucking much to ask, God. Uh, but how are you doing? Are you doing the Melcher thing again? Are you holding your microphone?
Yeah, I'm holding the microphone. I'm holding the microphone. I didn't I when I made my trip back to the United States, I forgot to bring the thing I could put it on, the stand and everything. So, I have two
Just go
mics.
back
So
to the UK. So
yeah, I'm going back to the UK soon. I'm gonna I can't the United States is, we have a weird relationship now. They can tell I'm distant.
the
So,
states know that you chose someone else. And
exactly.
oh, what now? You're back? No.
So you can't just stay 6 months here, 6 months there, but yeah, it's kind of like that. But I mean, like,
It doesn't work that way.
well, yes, I will be back soon. But we appreciate y'all for coming back and checking us out for the WWE Crown Jewel 2025 preview here. Me and Maggie appreciate y'all. Show that appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your wrestling, on all your YouTube and all your social media platforms. You can also hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, you can sound off in the comment section. You can sound off in the live chat if you want to interact. We'll highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you can send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. And we always, always appreciate the support. We got in the chat with us, as always, Zach Minker, who says, International Beer and Pizza Day, SP3 and Maggie.
I get down with the pizza. I quit drinking, but even when I did drink, I didn't drink beer. I only drank hard alcohol.
I'm
'Cause
kind of
I
like
know
that
cooking.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I didn't know I was backing that up, but yeah, no. I'm more of a hard liquor person. I don't beer.
Yeah, I'm also
On
kidding. Beer
occasion.
is good.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just don't, overdo it because you don't want a beer belly, and that's
Yes.
Yeah. By the way, in the chat, because before we started the show, I sounded off in the chat. I was like, "Are you guys ready for shenanigans?" Like, I don't know if I spelled that word correctly. So I
You
went to
just
Google.
dropped the middle N.
Yeah,
Drop
dropped
one
them.
of the middle N's.
I saw, but like I Googled shenanigans,
Yeah.
and the first thing when I Google that word, the first thing that I see is a bar called Shenanigans in Australia.
Wow. Look at that.
What a coincidence!
We're talking about a show that's taking place in Perth, Australia, and you looked up a word, shenanigans, that had nothing to do with this, and you found a bar in Australia.
Yeah.
Imagine if you were going, you would have to go to Shenanigans Bar.
It's on the other end of the world, Australia. I mean, while I'm there, might as well.
You go take the plane there, and then you take the train. I don't know, to something cheaper.
It says it has the best burgers in the area. So
best burgers in the area. Oh, that's good.
I mean, now we have to go, right?
Valev says a lot of bars have that name all over the world. So,
well, don't shit on my founding. Jesus, sweetie, I love you, but like, God.
Tell it like it is, Maggie. Put him in his place.
It's not enough that it's raining outside and it's bugging with my work schedule. You have to be raining on my parade too? Fuck!
How could you? How could you, Valev? We expect better from you.
Yeah, you have to send money now.
Yeah. Hello to everybody in the chat. Hello to Davion. Good to see you all in the chat. Sound off. Give us your thoughts on this Saturday show, Saturday morning for us in the States, 8 a.m. Eastern time. For when I was in the UK, it would have been 1 p.m. And for Maggie, it would be 3 p.m. See, I know all
3
these.
3 p.m. I'll be working.
You turn it on in the bar. There you go.
No, hell no.
You're not paying $30? Oh no, it's not. It's not on ESPN there. To be fair.
Okay, first of all, no.
It's on Netflix, right?
You can get it on the network. We have network here.
Oh, you still have the network. Oh yeah. I remember we had this conversation last time. You still have the network.
We still have the network. We still live in the Stone Age. Not only that, but like there's a lot of.
It's like this was 2 streaming services ago.
Yeah. Not only that, but there are a lot of football matches, Premier League, Champions League going on right now. Usually they start at 2:30 our time, so there's no way I put on wrestling because the bar is provided that there's no water in the bar. That the bar is gonna be filled with football hooligans, and they'll be like, "What is this circus act? Is this still on? That's for children." Oh, it's not. No, I'm not putting on wrestling in the bar ever.
Seems smart. Seems like a smart move when you tell us like that. But yes, we want to hear from y'all. Give us your predictions on this Saturday's Crown Jewel. But as always, with our pay-per-view previews, as we always do here, Maggie, from 0 to 10, what is your anticipation level, your hype level for this Saturday show?
I think I've been really negative on this show. For
you think
for premium live events, and I don't want to be a bummer, but let's say 5. Okay,
that's actually on the upside in comparison to the last couple of shows.
The last couple of shows that were like 1. I'm gonna say a 5 because we've been here before, and we know that WWE tend not to give a crap about international shows, like whatsoever.
They tend to do that, yes.
Yeah, and I mean, what does Black have to do to get a pay-per-view match? Seriously. He has a match on
He
Friday.
probably has to like clip Cody Rhodes backstage or
Yeah.
He has to like clip one of these top stars because these top stars they have so many top stars that they're going to be featured on pretty much any premium live event that is available to them that you're going to be in the line to eventually get like Carmelo Hayes is still in the line. He's still got a number in line to get a premium live. He got that triple
Yeah.
threat at last year's Crown Jewel, but he's still waiting for his next one.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna get slow for him because he just broke up with Miz. And we're gonna get started with that. So we're on a course to that. But I kind of, and I'll always be biased towards Carmelo Hayes too, because I've been saying this every time. I love Carmelo, and I feel like he's been robbed ever since he was on the main roster, even though he was the first round pick uh, for the second night for SmackDown. They did nothing with him. His first night on SmackDown, he faced Cody Rhodes. You think that would mean something, but uh, the matter of the fact is that I love Aleister Black, and I hate the way that he was booked on the main roster previously. They almost got it right with Aleister on AEW, but I know that stuff didn't go down as well as both sides would have loved to. I was in love with House of Black. Uh, I was the only one that was pissed off at All In when the Acclaimed won the trios championships. Everyone was fucking scissoring in the crowd. I was so pissed off, man. I was so pissed off, and I'm like, fucking boo. And like, no, fuck no. And they did the whole Bray Wyatt entrance and everything. It was, during the week the Bray Wyatt died, and I thought that they deserved better. All went downhill from there for House of Black, and now that he was back in WWE, I'm like, okay, so he has a second chance on the main roster, and it hasn't been that, you know. And they announced that they're gonna have a last man standing match with Damian Priest, and I was like, "Fuck yes!" And they on SmackDown.
He ain't getting that PR. If he ain't getting it for this match, he ain't getting it for nothing, it seems.
Yeah.
But we shall see what goes down on Friday Night SmackDown this week. As far as where I'm at, I think I'm actually gonna be higher again from everybody here, from what I'm seeing in the chat, and what I'm hearing from you. I'm at like a 6. I would even push
That's
for
fine.
like 6.5 because I think that the card is actually a really good card. I think that all the matches will deliver, and
They always do.
Yeah, they always do, and I think that the Crown Jewel Championship concept was used stronger with Cody and Seth than it was to either of the matches last year or the women's match this year, for that matter. But I think they actually told a story by using the crust of the Crown Jewel Championship instead of just saying, hey, we're going to give you a dream match, Cody and Gunther, and just having them have one exchange and not really tell the story heading into what was a really good matchup. And I expect Cody and Seth to be a really good matchup, but they actually told a story that got something out of Seth that I've been wanting for months.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
that is in mind. Before we get into the predictions, we do have a super chat donation here from Valab. Thank you so much, Valab, for the support. He says, oh, boo-hoo, take my monies. Who cares about this fuck-ass PLE anyway? I might watch because it's a reasonable evening show for me. And then he turned around and said, wait, it's Saturday night? I might just watch Noah instead.
Whatever you wish, whatever makes you happy, sweetie.
That is true. That is true. But yes, keep sounding off in the live chat. Keep showing some love with the super chat donation. Drop the thumbs up on the video. Let's get into the matches here. We got not just a street fight, Maggie, an Australian street fight. It's Roman Reigns going one-on-one with the home country hero, Bronson Reed. These two men have been going at it during the ongoing saga and rivalry between Roman Reigns and the Vision that started back at WrestleMania 41. Roman Reigns picked up the win over Bronson Reed at WWE Clash in Paris after Reed drew the ire of the OTC, stealing his sneakers, being dubbed the Tribal Thief. Roman got a measure of revenge with the win, but it was the Vision that got the last laugh after Roman Reigns put his hands on Paul Heyman, choking him out. It was Braun Breaker who delivered a spear through a table, another spear on the floor, and then Bronson Reed delivering 3 thunderous tsunamis, 2 of them coming while Roman Reigns was strapped to a gurney. And then he was stretchered out of the building. WWE and Paul Heyman said this was the first time that Roman Reigns has ever been stretchered out. Tell that to Braun Strowman. But Roman Reigns made his return 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw, helping out the Usos to pick up the win over the Braun Stars in a tornado tag team matchup. Roman has been in an ongoing storyline with his cousins, the Usos, with him becoming a mentor of sorts and giving advice to Jey Uso on his way back to the World Heavyweight Championship, with Jimmy Uso not liking that. But meanwhile, he's been also trying to settle the score with the Vision, which he made the challenge to Bronson Reed, with Paul Heyman saying that it should be an Australian street fight, a match that Bronson Reed is undefeated in Australia, and they had to ban the match because of this man. So can Reed pick up the biggest win of his WWE career, or will the OTC get some revenge on the Tribal Thief? Maggie, what have you thought about this story that's been going on for months with Roman Reigns dealing with the Vision, Bronson Reed's push, and this being an Australian street fight that went over like a wet fart in church?
Okay, so first of all, how insensitively insulting do you think they're gonna get in this street fight? I mean, are they gonna throw around some boomerangs, koalas, kangaroos? Like, what are you?
So this is gonna be like the Nigerian drum fight, basically.
Yeah, that's what I think. But like, are they? Is it gonna be stuffed animals or for real? Like,
I am not sure, and I said the same thing, Dion, on Rated Raw review this week. I was like, they literally said stretcher like 5 times during this promo.
could have worked.
Set themselves up for a stretcher match, and then said Australian street fight because WWE is too scared, I guess. I don't know.
So Braun Strowman was like, "Hey, I literally exist," and then Paul Heyman was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I just like WWE forgot you existed." Harsh, first of all. I listen. I think I said this to Rob, but it was almost as if Raw this week woke up from a dream, because Raw was really good this week. I don't know what you guys thought about this episode this week, but like, a lot of stuff happened, and I was a bit pissed off because does Roman need to be there in order for a Raw to be good? Because Raw wasn't good because Roman was there. No, it simultaneously was better. It's as if he was lifting up spirits. It's really ridiculous. And I don't think that he should win this match. God, please don't let him win this match, because this is a two-way street. If Seth loses and he automatically loses, the locker room, Braun Stars and Paul Heyman and everything, why does the Vision not turn on Bronson Reed if he loses, because he's getting pinned all the time. He's the one getting losses for him and Braun and division as a as a whole. So it kind of makes you wonder. So I hope Roman Reigns loses this, because Bronson Reed kind of needs a win, an important win in Australia versus Roman Reigns. That's the guy who beat Okada. What do you
This
think?
is true. This is true. Power Driver Finisher says the backstage stuff was the more interesting thing for him on
Yeah.
Raw this week. I agree. I thought that the backstage stuff is what got me. Like, I think JJ went thumbs down. I went thumbs in the middle for the show because I didn't think everything made sense, and I felt like the backstage stuff was stronger than the wrestling on the show for me. But
if you're
I
grading on a curve, this has to be
Yeah.
like 1,000.
Yeah, if you're grading it on WWE TV, and that was something I wanted to ask you, and I'll give my prediction first for the matchup. I think that Roman wins. I think that unfortunately
Yeah.
the rub he's getting from working with Bronson Reed working with Roman Reigns, that's the push. The push is not him actually getting a
Stupidest
win
push.
to solidify himself. It's him getting a push by working with Roman Reigns. That's the push.
That's the stupidest thing, man. That's so dumb.
It is. I agree. This is the time to put him over. I do also agree with the thinking that Dion says here in the chat. He says Reigns will win. They got to keep him strong. So if Breaker beats him, it means something. Because this is only the first kind of singles feud he's having with the Vision. He's going to have his matchup with Braun Breaker. He still hasn't had a singles match with Seth Rollins since Royal Rumble 2022. He faced him in the triple threat at WrestleMania 41. He's had interactions with him. First him in the tag team matchup at WrestleMania 40, but they have not gone one-on-one we're going on 4 years at this point. So I think that might be an option for them to go for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. So he's definitely not losing now.
Yeah, we're going on 4 years because 2026 is 3 months away.
Yes. He's not I don't think he's versing him then, because next up is Survivor Series. So that's out the way. And then what's after Survivor Series? So Saturday night's main event. There's no he's not facing him until like 2026.
No, I'm just bummed out that 2026 is 3 months away.
I know. I've been thinking about it, yeah. But yeah. Yes, I think that Roman's gonna get the win here. But I wanted to ask you, because I've been seeing it a lot more lately, and I've been asking anyone I do a show with, because you've done a lot of shows with me. You've heard what I think about Triple H's booking, but I've been seeing it a lot more around like content creators, social media, YouTube. A lot of people saying like they're falling out of love with WWE videos. Oh, why the fans are turning on Triple H. Have you been seeing it a lot more? And why do you think it's been more of a prevalent conversation nowadays?
Actually, not being chronically online makes me not see this kind of stuff. I've been like, the only time I get on Twitter is to promote, a show I'm doing. And I feel like the other times when I'm on social media, I just hop on, the stupid Facebook, because we still use Facebook here, to see my memories. My memories on Instagram. I'm really active on Instagram because Instagram is a place for beautiful stuff, for my algorithm at least. It shows beautiful stuff, cats and Sleep Token on their United States tour, which is about to end. And I'm really sad because this will mean that I will no longer be flooded with reels from their concerts. I'll only be flooded from the weather outside. So like it's also kind of depressing, but like I haven't been seeing this, but I can definitely see where they're coming from, because I I keep forgetting that the women have a United States champion. I keep forgetting that it's Julia. They had the audacity to say that Julia and Kiana on this week's SmackDown that they were the best booked women, or whatever the fuck did they say? You joined Kate on this past week's uh SmackDown preview. So they said something so stupid that I was getting ready for work in the morning and I shouted from the bathroom and I was like, fucking what? That's not that that's absolutely ridiculous. So I keep forgetting that fucking Cody Rhodes is champion, not only because I hate Cody, but because his entire shtick has been so uninspired, man. It's one thing to hate. I feel like I hate Cody Rhodes because of the way that he's booked.
Yeah.
It's the way that I rooted for Cody so much to beat Roman to become champion. I was so pissed when he didn't do it the first time, and I was like, who's it supposed to be then? And then they waited for an entire year to crown Cody as champion, and I'm like, fucking yes, let's go. And then they did nothing apart from the ridiculously amazing AJ Styles match and from the really, really amazing Kevin Owens match. I miss Kevin Owens so much. And like that is about it, man. That is it. It's so uninspired. His match with Cena was okay. And then it was so much better, the second time. But like, what am I watching?
It was bad. It was bad. You were trying to be nice. It was bad at WrestleMania 41. It was just bad.
I know.
That's one of the worst matches of the year.
Easily the worst matches of the year for me. I can already sense when Luke Owen sends me the end of.
Make sure you watch Minoru Suzuki versus Butterbean before you do that.
Why would I ever do that? It already
because then you will know the real worst match.
That sounds horrible, sweetie.
in the big 2025, Minoru Suzuki and Butterbean. Then you'll know the real. That's why I said one of. It's one of the Cody and Cena. It's one of the worst matches of the year. I think Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu is up there as well because their pushes died upon that steel cage match at SummerSlam. They have not been used the same.
It was so uninspired, man. And we didn't need that. Like whatsoever. But listen, my Cody hate just fuels this match, and I'm like, gotta go ahead and
it fuels a match that wasn't about it.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, no. It's just been a lot of the things that Triple H made his name for and had become popular with the fans for has come off stale now. It's now stale 3 years into his run. And it doesn't seem like he's doing anything to freshen up. And about Cody, I think that the reason why it's so fast, it seems like he's become the same boring champion he was towards the tail end of his first run, is because there's nothing fresh about it. It's Drew McIntyre. They were teasing Drew McIntyre as a challenger for Cody during his first reign. We're finally getting to it like 9 months later. Okay, cool. All right. We're not as interested as we once were because you booked Drew McIntyre like shit after that great feud with CM Punk. Like he doesn't know how to follow up. He'll do a great debut, don't know how to follow up. He does a great heel turn, doesn't know how to follow up. Like, it's so many great heel turns he's had, from Cena to New Day to Chad Gable to Santos Escobar, that he has just failed to capitalize on any of them. So there's no fresh heels for Cody to face. The freshest matchup that he has for WrestleMania, you remember WrestleMania season, like last year, we kind of knew Cena going into his retirement year. That was like a likely candidate. There was CM Punk as another likely candidate. It was Roman Reigns in a third matchup there. That was a likely candidate. Like 2 years ago, you had Rock and Cody as Roman's candidate. like it's very clear that Cody is probably facing CM Punk because that's the only fresh candidate that doesn't have a matchup at WrestleMania. It seems like a foregone conclusion, and that's the only interesting match at this point that Cody has. Like he doesn't have a lot of fresh matchups.
Did the Chad Gable and Otis bust happen during Triple H's era? Because I kind of feel
Yeah.
like it happened 10 years ago. Okay,
No, that was
so
last year. Chad
no,
Gable's heel turn.
fuck. Okay,
Yeah.
so they didn't capitalize on that either because like Otis could have been a major babyface. Him finally standing up for himself and for everyone in the band and just shoving Chad Gable and then having the feud, winning the feud and everything, but they didn't do any of that.
You remember he
Um,
botched the payoff? He did it on a random episode of Raw, and no
Yeah.
one remembered it by the end of the episode.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I'm always gonna root for Chad Gable. I'm so sorry. I don't know where they're going with this three El Grande Americanos. I hope that when Chad Gable returns, they all unmask themselves, Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, and Ludwig Kaiser, and they form a powerful trio and they actually do something with them without the fucking masks, because I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here pretend that I'm offended because they're not luchadors. That's not my story to tell. I just feel like we have enough luchadors that we're not actually doing anything with. Why don't we do something with them? And for these people, let's do something that they're good at, fucking murdering people. British strong style. Can we do that?
Yeah, I would love to see that. And it's also a fact that you got here Dion who says Cody is boring as hell, and I'm not a fan of Seth either. And we'll talk about their rivalry when we get to the main event. But I think that it's another thing that's hurt WWE this year is that a lot of the full-time stars are not cool. It's the part-time or semi-part-timers that are the cool ones. Like Roman Reigns is the coolest wrestler there. The women's wrestlers. No, the women's wrestlers are all the cool ones. It's Rhea, it's Io, it's Bianca Belair. They're all cool. Stephanie Vaquer, they're all cool. But the male wrestlers, it's only the part-timers. It's really Roman, Punk. He's a semi part-timer at this point.
Yeah.
So it's those guys. Those guys are the cool ones. John Cena, he's got the spotlight on him all this year. So yeah. But let's talk about the women's division. Why don't we? And let's talk about the aforementioned Rhea Ripley, who is returning to Australia this Saturday. And she's going to be teaming with Io Sky, as Io will go face-to-face, 2-on-2 against her former Damage Control stablemates and real-life friends, Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors. It was Asuka who basically started to show her jealous side as Io Sky started to become friends with Rhea Ripley amidst their rivalry over the WWE Women's World Championship. After Io and Rhea came up short against Naomi at SummerSlam, Asuka started inserting herself into things and told Io she wanted her to stop hanging out with Rhea. And why was Rhea helping her out against the Judgment Day? Questioning Io's decision, wanting Io to show her loyalty to Asuka and Kairi, which Io tried to do so until Rhea Ripley went one-on-one with Asuka on Monday Night Raw following WrestlePalooza. It was there that Rhea picked up the victory, but post-match Asuka spit the poison mist into her face. Her and Kairi attacked Rhea. Io came out to stop the attack, got in between the two. Asuka feigned being basically regretful and hugging Io, and then basically gave her a spinning back fist, laid her out, made Kairi basically forced Kairi to attack her longtime friend, Io. Kairi has been an innocent bystander at this, basically forced at the will of Asuka, feeling a debt of loyalty to Asuka due to Asuka paving the way for Kairi to come to WWE. She's been basically the person with like been held hostage against her will and been faced against Io, who's been forced to make the decision. And she's realized that Rhea was right, that Asuka is only looking out for herself, that Asuka only wants what's best for herself and is not looking out for Io, and that Rhea is her real friend, and that she will team with Rhea Ripley at Crown Jewel to verse Asuka and Kairi Sane. Asuka had Kairi face Io on Monday's Raw, with Kairi picking up the win against Io thanks to Asuka, and then the Kabuki Warriors later out once again. It's been 3 straight weeks of attacks from the Raw after WrestlePalooza. Their attack on Io with the poison mist as well, making her into a Smurf. And then this past week on Monday Night Raw, once again, is Io and Rhea going to finally get revenge on the Kabuki Warriors, or will the Kabuki Warriors solidify their recent hot streak that they've been on and the focus they've gotten in this storyline at Crown Jewel? What have you thought about this story, and who do you think wins on Saturday?
I actually loved this story. It has betrayal, it has love, like you and I discussed, last time. It has broken hearts, it has friendship. It kind of has everything. Because I know that everyone is probably sick of the trope that women can't ever be friends with one another for too long. I know that people are tired of this trope, but I kind of feel like this one is actually done very, very well and tastefully done. I've been enjoying it a lot, but I know this is Rhea Ripley in Australia, but I always feel like the legitimate tag team should always win, no matter how strong the other competitors are, because neither Rhea or Io have been, solidified tag team contenders. I know that Rhea has been tag team champion. I know. Has Io been tag team champion?
Yeah, with Dakota
okay.
and Damage Control.
Okay, there you go. But Dakota Kai, oh my god. Okay. Uh, plus, I always feel like if someone just turned heel and they lose the first match / feud, what was the point? And they actually look like suckers and losers. So again, I know this is Rhea and I know this is Australia, but I'm gonna pick the Kabuki Warriors here because I kind of feel like this is I don't know where the story goes after, if and when the Kabuki Warriors win, because it automatically makes you think that the feud will go on. It might not be now, it might be later, when eventually I actually think that the Kabuki Warriors win the tag team championships. And then we can go somewhere from there. But if Rhea Ripley and Io win the match, I don't know what they get from that, apart from glory, and Rhea being, a winner in Australia. She's gonna get a huge pop. That's what I'm looking forward to. I adore Rhea Ripley's pops everywhere, especially in Australia. She's, but yeah, I'm gonna pick Kabuki Warriors here. What are your thoughts about this? Are you because I really, really like this story. I don't know if other people enjoy it too.
No, this has been the most compelling story on Monday Night Raw over the last couple of weeks. I think that this has been the first time that they've made Io Sky the centerpiece in a story in WWE.
And she was champion, and she wasn't the centerpiece.
No, she was champion. She was champion this year. She was never the centerpiece of the story. She was champion back in Damage Control last year. She was never the centerpiece in the story. You could tell me, oh, she was the centerpiece in the Bayley rivalry going into WrestleMania. Bayley was the centerpiece. Bayley is the one who
Yeah.
was the one who
Bailey
broke
was
away
the
from
Royal
Damage
Rumble
Control.
winner.
She's the
Yeah.
centerpiece. And in a rivalry, in a story that involves, in my eyes, the only woman that can say that she's a bigger star in the women's division right now than Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, they still have made Rhea the person, Io the person who has the agency. She chose between Rhea and the Kabuki Warriors. So I like the fact that they have done that with Io Sky. That tells me where they're going to go with her after her reign, and that she is someone important to WWE. So I'm happy to see that. I like the depth that they've added with this story as well. Rhea Ripley's done very well as kind of the friend who's trying to be honest and truthful, and she comes off like a real good, a very well-defined babyface in this story as well, which is something that I can't always say for her. Kyrie has done an excellent job. I think she's been the most underrated part of this because she's brought the humor to this. Her reactions to the Kyrie is hilarious.
And
Just
the
like,
sympathy. And the sympathy,
yes,
because
yeah,
like
the sympathy she's when she was crying when she's hitting Io during the original attack, it was fantastic work. But Asuka's been the MVP of this whole thing. The fact that Asuka has seamlessly gone from, tag team wrestler doing 4-way matches at Evolution to Naomi's out of here because she's gonna be a mother. She has real life things she has to deal with, a pregnancy and everything. She's out of the way. She's not the top heel anymore. Who's gonna step up? Who's gonna fill that spot? Asuka, in my eyes, a top 10 women's wrestler in WWE history, said, let me remind y'all who the hell I am. And she's done just great work at just being a sinister, jealous, vindictive heel. Is a different side of Asuka. It's like the Empress of Tomorrow has become the teacher, the senpai, but she's now the evil senpai. She's now just always thinking about herself, and she wants all the attention on her. She wants all the gratitude. She wants to take credit for all of the success of her little ones, her Padawans that she's trained up. Great stuff. I think Asuka's been great. But I think that the goal here is to make Asuka the top heel. You don't really do that with the Kabuki Warriors winning. I think the Kabuki Warriors will eventually win back the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, but this is all to service eventual singles match between Asuka and Io. And I think that's the important one that Asuka and the Kabuki Warriors have to win. I don't think they have to win this one, and I don't think WWE is going to have Rhea Ripley lose in Australia. So I'll go with Io and Rhea.
You can actually call Asuka the narcissist of tomorrow because I know Kyrie and Asuka have the most toxic relationship because Asuka is the self-involved narcissist here, and Kyrie is just doing everything to keep the peace between her and Asuka, and she's just going along with everything. This is textbook narcissist toxic relationship behavior. I mean, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people could get triggered while watching this storyline unravel because I kind of am.
It is. I felt uncomfortable watching that backstage segment where she slapped Kyrie. I was like, oh, we've now gone from verbal abuse, mental manipulation, to now physical abuse. I was like, this is someone call the police. Someone call the police on Asuka.
Yeah, why is no one like, hey, why are you hitting her? I mean, I know it's wrestling, but
but it is not a match. Y'all are friends.
Yeah, y'all are friends. Talking about the women's division, how do you eventually think that they get back Bianca Belair into the picture?
I think Bianca is going to be the one who comes back and beats Tiffany to end her reign. At this point, because you kind of gone through everybody, because I don't think it's going to be Julia. I don't think they've done a good job of building up Julia. Now that she's interacting with them, don't think it's going to be her. You've done Jade Cargill 2 singles matches and a triple threat. I think you got to do a lot to heat her back up. I don't think it's going to be, oh, she just has another match and beats her. That would be dumb.
No, she's freshly off of AEW. I don't like she's.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You're right. We gotta make her earn it. She's freshly off of it. It's only been 2 years. But yes, we gotta do that. So Bianca Belair makes the most sense of coming back, get a good build up heading into maybe like, I don't know, they'll probably hot shot and do it a Saturday Night's main event, but I would hope like Royal Rumble. That sounds like a Royal Rumble title match that people can get into. Bianca Belair versus Tiffany Stratton, or you have Bianca come back in the Rumble and she wins that to verse Tiffany at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, Bianca Belair gets humongous pops in the Royal Rumble. I'm gonna go ahead and assume, not only because she's a fantastic wrestler and I miss her so much, you can tell that she's not there, by the way. You can always tell that she's not there. But also because she has one of the most beloved and recognizable wrestling themes. Bro,
Against the wall. I'm gonna never
And-
fall.
instead of crying, they hear me roar.
Never fall.
Yeah. Her theme is really good, and people recognize it apart from everything else.
To be fair.
Yeah.
I do like two links here who says this story is a Soja AI anime, and it's the most interesting story on a show I barely watch. I mean, it had elements. I was saying, the last time we talked about WWE, I was like, it had elements of Romeo and Juliet at the beginning of the family of the two lovers are trying to keep them apart. And then it turned into like kind of like an anime. It isn't like an anime because you have the teacher of Asuka who is trying to keep her senpais, be the senpai and keep her underlings under her. So I like the anime comparison.
Let me just remind you that we're an hour in when we've talked about 2 matches.
This is what we do. This is what we do.
This business.
Well, the bright side is because we were able to talk a lot about that match and the rivalry, and I think that we're not going to talk a lot about the buildups of the next 2 matches. So that's the bright side, because like he said on Monday, there is no story. AJ Styles will go one-on-one with John Cena, who is letting you know for us how many dates he has left, as this will be his 5th to last date. Only 4 dates left after this Saturday. He goes against one of his last rivals during his last full-time run in WWE, AJ Styles. Styles came to WWE back in 2016. One of the first people that he feuded with was John Cena. He turned heel on John Cena, beat him twice in the summer of 2016, including at SummerSlam in one of the best SummerSlam matches of all time. Maggie, I will let her wax lyrically about their rematch at Royal Rumble 2017, where Cena became a 16-time WWE champion. They faced again in 2018, where John Cena picked up another victory over AJ Styles. So heading into their 5th match in WWE, AJ Styles, John Cena are 2-2. Who wins the deciding match this Saturday? Maggie, how excited are you for this matchup?
I'm actually really, really excited about the match. I know that it couldn't possibly fill 2017 shoes. No way it does that, because like neither of them are in that former shape. I know Rob and I ranted about Cena and AJ having a match together. But the thing is, now that I'm about to get it, I'm like, well, Cena's gonna win this match, and this kind of pisses me off. Like he shouldn't. So back in 2017, when they had their infamous Royal Rumble match, one of the best matches ever, probably the best match on a Royal Rumble that it's not a Royal Rumble. Easily.
I think it's in the argument.
Yeah. So because it was back in 2017, I was still I decided if a match was good or not, whether my guy wins, because it's it was a long time ago. And I hated John Cena at the time. I adored AJ Styles. And even though AJ lost the match and Cena beat him and took his championship. And I was like, this is I kind of feel like this the reason why I adore this match even more, not because it was so good in ring, and it actually told a story in the ring, which WWE rarely do. I I adore it because it kind of made me into a better fan. This match made me into a better fan because I was able to enjoy everything that I've watched, even though my guy lost. That's why I cherish it forever because like it I kind of grew after the match ended. Um
Wow, you're trying to make me. I gotta remember when I had that feeling. I could actually like a matchup without my guy winning. Damn, this had to be
it's
when I was like a teenager.
yeah, sure, but like when I was a teenager I stopped watching wrestling. That's what uh and
Oh, I know what it was. It
well what was it?
was the third Punk versus Joe match. No, it wasn't that because Joe won. So never mind. It wasn't that. I gotta think again.
Okay. You
I
get
was like, no, I definitely wanted Joe to win that one, and it wasn't Punk
yeah.
winning. So yeah.
Well, you've been a wrestling fan for so long, and so I'm gonna go ahead and give you that as a homework. And next time that we're on screen together, I want you to have an answer for that. I'm gonna remind you, have in mind. Yeah. Yeah.
I think I can remember it before we
Food,
end this.
food for thought. Food for thought.
I'm gonna
Okay.
yeah. You gave me some food for thought. So
Yeah.
I will get to that and think about it and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pick Cena here. I hate it, but I'm
Oh,
gonna
I know what
pick
it is.
Cena.
It hit me. It hit me
Oh,
like a
what?
ton of bricks. It's Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle. Because I'm always those are my two favorites, but I wanted Shawn Michaels to win that one. I wanted Shawn to win that one because he had lost a year prior in the triple threat with Benoit and Triple H. And I wanted him to beat Kurt Angle. And then when Kurt Angle won, it didn't matter at the end because they were both my favorite, but I wanted Shawn to win. But I remember that was one of the first matches where I was like, oh, I didn't care who won. That was amazing.
When was that?
That was WrestleMania 21 in 2005.
21. Okay. Okay. Back in my day.
Back in my day,
Back-
I sound like an old man talking about. I remember years ago, you'd be the cool guy bringing stuff up like that, but now that's 20 years ago. You sound old as hell.
Yeah, that's not impressive. You're just old.
Thanks, Maggie.
You think you're being smart and all, but you're just a grandpa, okay?
Power Driver Finisher says, thank you, WWE. We as fans have been waiting for this rematch to one of the final matches for Cena because, well, just because. Thank you, Tony Khan. Power Driver Finisher. That is like my big like complaint about the build up to this matchup or the lack thereof. You don't have to not build up this matchup and then said, oh, we're only doing it because the fans wanted it. Or it doesn't, we don't need a story. It just makes you come across very insecure of the fact that you decided not to have a story because Cena didn't have any dates leading up to this event. You were forced into not having this. You had no choice to have no story because of your own doing. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you don't get points because a couple of fans basically fell for your baiting tweets.
Well, it's not only that, but like now they officially announced that they are listening to fans, and when they decide not to, they do it out of spite. It's like the whole referee thing. A second referee comes and says to the first referee, no, the other guy cheated. You need to restart the match. Why aren't you doing this all the time? Like, who do you think wins this ridiculous match?
It's Cena. It's Cena. This is not like AJ Styles is gonna be here after Cena is gone, and I would love to tell you that WWE wants to give AJ Styles a big win so he can become reestablish himself as a top star and go after the WWE Championship and World Heavyweight Championship. But I don't live in a pretend land. I live in planet Earth, and this is the show we're going to watch. Cena's going to win because they need to heat him up before his final few matches, before he puts somebody over in his final match, which been rumored to be Gunther. What do you think about that?
I'm absolutely for that. I love Gunther, and I feel like I would have preferred if Gunther beat Lesnar, because I really want Gunther to beat Lesnar, and we never hear or see Lesnar ever again after that. I mean, the only reason why I would have loved for Lesnar to be back was to feed him to Gunther, and I would have loved if Lesnar would have tapped out to Gunther. I know that I was on the show with you and said that I thought the Cena was going to be the one to tap out Lesnar, because I feel like Lesnar would have given that to Cena, or having in mind their story with one another. But nope, Lesnar squashed Cena.
Squashed him for no reason.
For no reason.
It was to make Brock Lesnar a monster again, for someone else to beat him. And it's like, you needed John Cena in one of his final dates of his entire in-ring career to put over Brock Lesnar. I'm sorry. He's Brock Lesnar. He wakes up a monster. You don't need him to beat Cena to be a monster. Especially when the only other person Cena's put over is the reigning WWE champion and a guy you've been telling us is the top star for the last 3 years. He's not put over anyone that actually matters during this run.
No. I know that I ranted a lot about John Cena facing Logan Paul, because I'm so don't care about Logan Paul whatsoever. And I was like, why are we seeing this match? And Cena said, you're taking away opportunities from other wrestlers. Why didn't he say that to Lesnar? Like, he was the one that actually, I'll be the first one to admit, I preferred Logan Paul because it actually made sense. And I never thought that I would have said that ever in my life. But yeah, now that Lesnar beat Cena, eventually Gunther beating Cena wouldn't have mattered as much. It's the Undertaker's streak all over again. Lesnar did it, and then Roman Reigns did it. Like, no one remembers Roman Reigns for beating the streak. No one remembers that. And it's actually up to them to make this into a big deal, because I will gladly forget that the Lesnar thing happened. I won't, but I will gladly try.
I'll pretend.
I'll pretend. Let's all pretend, because we're pretending all day, correct? So help me. So might as well do that while watching wrestling, right? I mean, we're used to it. I would love for it to be Gunther. I was on the fence, Braun Breaker and Gunther, but as I see it, Gunther and Braun Breaker are the future for the company, and Braun Breaker beating the crap out of Seth Rollins eventually would be, the thing. And I suppose we build up Gunther as the top heel and Braun Breaker as the top babyface. Although, if we're gonna go back to the Braun Breaker just barking all the time, I got that dog in me. This is so lame, man. Am I the only one who thinks this is lame? I got that dog in me. Ew.
Well, he's the son of the dog face Gremlin. Do you get it?
I don't care. That entire phrase is so stupid. It's Michael Cole screaming, "It's the big dog!" all over again. It's
it gives you PTSD to Roman
it
Reigns'
gives me. It does. Oh my god, the big dog gimmick. Oh, barf.
Dion, to confirm, Cena has 5 dates left. He says, I only see him appearing here at Crown Jewel, at Survivor Series, as probably the 5th member of the War Games team, and probably a couple of more shows before his final match. All of his dates have been announced. He's doing Crown Jewel. He's doing the November 10th Raw from Boston. He's doing the November 17th Raw from Madison Square Garden. He's doing Survivor Series and then his final match. That's it.
Yeah.
So, there you have it. You know the schedule now. Yeah, this should be very good. But yeah, I don't think they have a shot of matching what they did at Royal Rumble 2017 or SummerSlam 2016. I do think it is like a top 5 Royal Rumble match. I think that it's in the conversation of best non-Royal Rumble match at the Royal Rumble, with Cactus Jack versus Triple H from the Royal Rumble 2000, the street fight. Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle from Royal Rumble 2003. And probably Brock Lesnar, John Cena, and Seth Rollins from Royal Rumble 2015. Those were be my top Royal Rumble matches.
Okay.
But I think the top match of the night, as far as in-ring action, might be the next match we're going to talk about here. If they get enough time to do their thing, these two ladies are really the future of the WWE Women's Division. As you have WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton will go one-on-one with WWE Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer for the WWE Crown Jewel Championship. Last year, it was Liv Morgan who picked up the win over Nia Jax. This year, we will crown the second ever Women's Crown Jewel Champion. And who will it be? Tiffany Stratton or Stephanie Vaquer? The reason why you don't get any soliloquy on the build up to the matchup, because that's it. That's all it's been. It's just been an announcement. It's been a contract signing that felt like it was a ChatGPT contract signing of
Could have
Stephanie
been an
Vaquer.
email.
It was like Stephanie Vaquer, Tiffany Stratton have a contract signing, and they say absolutely nothing. And you put it in a machine, and out comes the promos that we got on the show.
Yeah. So one thing that's really, really dumb is that because it's not Saudi Arabia, they're not going to have the belts there. No, because I suppose that the belts are staying in Saudi Arabia. It was so dumb for them. Oh, look at the shiny belts, and then no, they're only taking the rings. So I don't know if the rings are gonna be there. I suppose they have to be there, right? Correct? Because
They'll bring the rings. They were able to
Yeah.
move with the rings. It's just the championship that stays in Saudi.
Okay. Yeah, the contract signing was really weird. But like then we had the contract, the promo between Tony Storm and Chris Statlander, them lying on the ring next to each other's faces. That was so good.
Me and Rick, we talked about the juxtaposition in that, where you can have a babyface versus babyface encounter that shows some type of tension, that shows they want to fight each other, and that gets across both of their characters without neither one of them turning. And they accomplished it the day after they failed to do it here.
Yeah. There you go. Because like we got those back to back. And I was like, so this, the Tony Storm and Chris Statlander promo in ring, that did not make me uncomfortable whatsoever. It was funny. It was genuine. And it was like, you watch it and you're like, well, what do you expect from the both of them? Like, they're just, it's still them. And like now you see that, and if you stick to that kind of thinking, you go, well, what do you expect from them? And I don't want to say that whatsoever, because like it's Tiffany and Steph. Tiffany has been doing her best with whatever she's given. I feel like I was not such a fan with everything she did with Charlotte. I wasn't such a fan of everything they gave her with Jade. With Nia Jax, because like she still hasn't beaten her fair and square.
I think she has. She's beaten
With
her
a
a few
chair.
times.
With a
Okay,
chair.
that was once with a chair. She beat her in a last woman standing matchup. Like, how many times she
Okay,
got to
but
beat
like
Nia Jax?
regular one-on-one match. Regular one-on-one match.
I'm pretty sure they had a regular one-on-one. She beat her in that too. Nia
With a
Jax and
chair.
Tiffany Stratton has been the most overused matchup in all of WWE.
I know. And I'm tired of seeing it. um it's I I hope that they give this time, because I remember Stephanie Vaquer versus EO. Such a wonderful match this was. I needed more. I just needed 5 more minutes. Just 5 more minutes. And I hope they give this time, because I know this is probably the AEW fan in me talking, because I'm so pissed off about whatever they're doing with the women, or they're not doing with the women with their one match on a 2.5 hour show. Um,
That was kind of egregious, especially when like all the other video packages on the show had like a promo segment or something accompanying it. And the best video package on the show was the video package hyping up Timeless Tony Storm and Chris Statlander. Yet we can't get anything from them, not even a backstage promo from them. Like, at least give us another segment for the women if you're only gonna do one women's match. Give us multiple segment with women.
the bare minimum on a show that is called Title Tuesday, it's for you to talk about the future titles that you announced a decade ago, for the women, and tell us how we're gonna get it. I mean, we just at this time we just assume that it's gonna be a tournament. Well, we don't know. We don't know.
Could be
At
a
this
match.
point,
Could be a
could be a
battle
match,
royal.
or could be Tony Khan going to the ramp and saying, "I would like to present you your champions," and then he just gives the
Just
titles away.
announces. You
Announces,
have to get votes online, but they haven't announced
yes,
the polls yet.
Mercedes Monet, and not the puppet, because everyone wants her in the puppet, or Harley Cameron.
No. If they did a fan vote, it would definitely be Mercedes and the puppet winning.
Yeah, sure. But it's gonna be Robin Renegade and Mercedes Monet, because she has to get that championship. That last championship she
Yeah,
has.
they would do that as like a
I know.
backdoor way of
I
her
know.
getting the 10 championships.
Yeah, but like talking about WWE, because like again, I'm constantly reminded of the lack of inspiration when it comes to women's booking. Uh yeah, I just hope they give this time. Just give this time. Um I'm gonna pick Stephanie, although I I can't see shenanigans happening here. With because they're gonna
From
team
who?
together. Well, from Julia and Kiana, because they're gonna
Oh,
face
I
them.
think that's just for a TV match.
Yeah, of course, but they're gonna be there anyway.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah,
That is
because
that is an option for them to go. I'd rather this match have a clean winner, and I do agree.
me
It is
too.
Stephanie Vaquer. It is
Me
Stephanie
too.
Vaquer. They very much have pushed that Tiffany Stratton is undefeated in 2025, and I think they've done a good job of like pushing that as one of her accolades for the year. And it's something else that you can give to Stephanie Vaquer to continue her ascent up the ladder. She has been only champion for a couple of weeks, while Tiffany Stratton has been champion since January. And I feel like we're coming to the end of Tiffany Stratton's run. If WWE wants to drag it out until WrestleMania, you're just dragging a dead body to the finish line, because this title run, if she loses here, this title run should end before the end of the year, because
Yeah.
I think that it's done a good job of solidifying that, yeah, she's going to be one of the top girls that they have, being champion, being a top player in the women's division for the next couple of years. But they have definitely exposed her weaknesses. Her weaknesses is on the mic. She's not that good at coming across as a babyface at all. She's stronger as a heel than as a babyface. And she's very one note and one dimensional. And she can't lead a matchup. She definitely can't lead a matchup.
No.
It comes off very choreographed and rehearsed when it's her leading someone like a Jade Cargill in the ring. So I don't think that this title reign did as many favors as they were hoping originally to me. So we'll see what happens. But Stephanie Vaquer is the star here between the two. If I had to pick one who I'm strapping the rocket to, who I think is going to be the champion that is a major star for WWE in the months and years to come, is Stephanie Vaquer. So I'll go with Vaquer.
And I'll agree with you. I would like for this match to have a clean finish because I don't see a clean finish happening in the main event.
I don't either. So we'll get into that there. We got Hassan who says, I vote for Stephanie Vachon for the new champions. Sir, like literally our boy Power Driver finisher right above you put gotta go for the real Latina Vaquer. Like you don't get tips from Nikki Bella on how to say or spell Stephanie Vaquer.
Oh no.
Corey Michaels, he says, I speak for everyone, yes, everyone, when I say that Julia should leave the United States Championship and take Tiffany's belt instead. No, you don't speak for everyone, because I think that Julia should hold both the U.S. Championship and WWE Women's Championship. She should be a double champion. That's what she said originally. When she went after the U.S. title, she said this is just a stepping stone for me. So she should be the champion. And then you could create like an option C. So then the women's U.S. title has a function that's different from every other mid-card title, where it's an option C where you can cash in the U.S. championship for a shot at the main title.
There you go, going all full on TNA.
Yep. Hey, you got a partnership with them. Why not steal one of their best?
Why not? Yeah. Apart from the X Division. Yeah. Well,
it's the X Division title that it comes from. So this is all X Division. It's the X Division that is their best idea.
Yeah. They could have done it in NXT, but like, let's not talk about TNA or NXT because I'm gonna have a full-on meltdown.
Meltdown. You want to talk about Showdown?
Money. My super chat.
If you want Maggie to rant, super chat.
Yeah. So, I, for now, if I'm not familiar with Julia as a superstar, like the majority of WWE fans are, if I'm a basic WWE fan, why would I want Julia to hold all the gold? Who the fuck is she?
They have done a horrible job of like it's one thing to tell the resume of somebody, but you have to, with wrestling is a strange thing because usually with stuff you either show or you tell, or with wrestling you have to do both. You have to tell us she's this world champion Joshi wrestler that came from Japan and now she took over Japan. She's coming to the United States. She's going to take over the WWE. But you also have to kind of show that by her being dominant. But from the get-go, they've messed up with Julia. Like, it took what? She had like 2 matches in NXT before she took her first loss against Roxanne on the CW premiere last year. And then it took like 3 more months on top of that before she eventually wins the NXT championship, and then took only 2 months before she loses it to Stephanie Vaquer. She's been firmly confirmed as being number 2 to Stephanie Vaquer, who they signed at the same time. Stephanie Vaquer wins the Women's World Championship. She wins the U.S. Championship. Like, they have made it very clear of where she stands on the pecking order, and I feel like they are damaging her future prospects by positioning her like that, because you can't like position and tell the fans by how you're booking them, how you're pushing them, she is a mid-card wrestler, and then eventually say, you know what, now we're going to push her up to the main event. No, it's too late. You already messed this up.
No. Yeah, but like I feel like they need to do serious damage control when it comes to Julia, because it's not fair that I keep forgetting about her. It's not fair. And they gave her that loss in NXT because they were hoping for a Cora Jade pop, and she got none.
I forgot
It
who she
was,
was.
and I felt really bad because I like Cora Jade, and I felt really bad because everyone was pumped for Julia, and then this masked person comes in and sabotages everything, and then it's Cora Jade. I don't think that got the reaction that they thought they would,
No.
and it
I
did
thought
no one
when
any favors.
when Julia debuted last year, I thought she was going to go on an Oscar run,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they dropped the ball way early.
Yeah, it was so weird, man. We were so sure that she was precisely the next Oscar, and it wasn't even close. Not even close. And it's not funny.
It's really not. We just laugh so we don't cry. Like,
Yeah.
it's sad. It's
It's-
sad. It really is sad. Like, just think about how we view Julia 2 years ago at this time in comparison to how we see her in the WWE, where she was the queen of Joshi wrestling, even when she wasn't World of Star. Her World of Stardom championship run did not last that long, but she was still positioned as a top star in Stardom, and eventually wins the NJPW Strong Women's Championship. She went on to have big matches against like Willow Nightingale and Stephanie Vaquer at that time. She was still positioned as a top player, and we thought she would keep that position because she came in with big pomp and circumstance. They gave her the big, oh, this free agent is in the front row. The same thing they did for Drew McIntyre, they did for Julia at WrestleMania 40 weekend, and then dropped the ball within that same year. That is unbelievable. That should have been the first sign of where WWE was headed in 2025.
that takes talent. It takes talent. For you to fuck up such a sure thing, this takes talent.
Thankfully, they didn't have her come to the United States early, because remember, after they do the intro at WrestleMania weekend, she went back to Japan to establish Marigold with Rossi, and then doesn't come back until like the fall.
Because like, okay, so you know how HBK loves rewriting his own stories from the past? So he couldn't have rewritten Oscar's story for Julia.
It's so simple. It's like they have the whole template for stuff. He could have done that with Julia, just do Oscar all over. He could have done with, I mean, you can either say Roxanne or Cora Jade. He could have just done Bailey again. The underdog babyface wins the championship, becomes a top star, establish her. Didn't do it there. He could have done the Shield again with Dark State.
They're such dorks, man. It's Dork State. Oh my fucking god. They could not help themselves, because who the fuck needs to put over a young talent? Sure, Hardys, get that another title. Who cares, man? Because it was funny for about 2 to 3 weeks in a row with that blonde guy from Dork State did a bunch of ass stuff backstage. That
Cutler
sounds
James.
really, yeah. That's second time that you're telling
butt
me how
stuff. He likes to do
stuff.
butt stuff.
Yeah. This sounds horrible for someone who doesn't watch NXT, I suppose, but I swear it was really funny. But this was around the time that they were desperately trying to make Dark State look legitimate. And like, they got the whole Shield thing going on. And like, all of them are pretty good wrestlers. I mean, what happened, man? Why not feed them to the Hardys? Hardys are a gazillion years old. Surely they're gonna no. They won. This sucks. And then they had the absolute same Survivor Series elimination matches, copy and paste for the women and the men, the exact same finish because they couldn't give enough money to the writing staff, apparently. And then they were like, well, they have 0 brain cells anyway. So why are we paying them? Let's just do this times 2. And hurrah, we have a show that it's supposed to battle AEW Homecoming to Daily's Place. And like the only good match that happened on this entire I'm giving you this rant for free, by the way.
I was about to say, I was like, you didn't even wait for the super chat.
I don't care. Like, you send them in anyway, because like it's true heel heat. The only good match that we got was the Mustafa Ali and Ethan Page match. It was easily from recent memory, because I'm bad with memory. From recent memory, the best match on NXT television, and like the end was so believable that the entire audience were trying to tell Mustafa that he had something stuck, cable stuck, around his ankle.
He's cursed.
Yeah, of course he's cursed. But like that whole suicide dive, he cleared the announce table, and I'm like, could you do this a little bit more to the left and get Booker? Like,
can you take Booker out for us, please?
Can you just? I mean, you don't go here. You're not gonna get fined or anything. Just
you'll be fine. You'll be
fine. You'll be fine. That match was ridiculously good, remarkably good.
Yeah, I thought the match was tremendous. I thought it was in the argument for the best match on either show on Tuesday.
Absolutely, and like, because when I get so into memorable matches on television in my head, I keep thinking the first NXT that went head to head with AEW Dynamite. The opening match was Leo Rush versus Angel Garza for the Cruiserweight Championship. That match was fucking insane. I mean, if you got, because if you're watching Los Garza right now, you have no idea how good Angel Garza is. But go ahead, and because if you haven't watched that match, Leo Rush versus Angel Garza, fucking shit, man. That match was insane. Legitimate fight forever chance all the time while watching this match. So Mustafa Ali versus Ethan Page, I knew that it was gonna be a banger. I did not expect this level of commitment. But now that I think of it, what would you expect from these two wrestlers? Ethan Page is such a professional. And if anyone has ever doubted Ethan Page, now you don't. And if you still don't like Ethan Page, leave wrestling, because I don't know what else you want. Oh my God, this was so good. But the entirety of the show can go fuck itself with the biggest dildo ever. Because what the hell did I and why did I watch it? Anyway, the PLA.
Very well said. That was an interlude by Maggie. Corey Michaels, he says, Julia took over the scene in Japan like Napoleon took over Europe. And then WWE hit her with the Fabian strategy like Russia did to the French in 1812. Some history lesson from our good brother Corey Michael.
I understood all these references.
I'm sure you did. Corey Michael says it doesn't help that Kiana James doesn't even add to Julia aside from potential dirty wins. And Dion backs that up. He says putting Julia with Kiana makes her feel lesser than she is. This is why we don't need all these titles. Julia could be feuding with Becky Lynch right now.
She could be, and Kiana James lost all her credibility if she even had any, because like she was totally unfamiliar to the people who watch the main roster. When she had that 7-second match and she lost it, was it during Mitchin or BFAB? It was Mitchin, right? Or
It was Mitchin.
It was Mitchin. Okay, I'm not saying that Mitchin isn't a badass wrestler. I'm saying is you could have not had this match, and like, because what did that match ever accomplish? Because Mitchin
Absolutely
didn't look
nothing.
better. Mitchin didn't look better because
No.
who the hell is Kiana? Who the hell is Kiana James anyway? Mitchin looks the same. She's not even on television. I mean, she is with funny backstage stuff, or whatever. But like, it actually accomplishes zero, apart from tarnishing Kiana James even more. And I love Kiana James, by the way. I was so stoked to look at all her. She was one of the people on NXT 2.0, which I was really excited to watch because she grew better and better with each and every match that you saw her in the ring, and she showed so much potential. And then they called her up to the main roster, and I'm like, no, it's too early. Like, we still have no idea who Kiana is, apart from someone who steals bars from people.
She's an accountant who's vindictive and wanted to pop Brooks Jensen's cherry.
Yeah, she was a porn accountant. That's what she was. And for whatever reason, she doesn't trust the women's locker room, and she carries her back to the ring because she doesn't want to leave it there. You know? Yeah.
All of this makes sense to me. She has weapons in her back.
For that brick one time. This is the same thing that I said about Hangman, because if you look at all the promos that Hangman has had when he's in he's in civilian clothes, is that he has his huge wallet in his back pocket, and I'm like, why don't you leave that in the back? He has that wallet in his right butt cheek, and I'm like, can you please remove that?
Maggie knows what butt cheek Hangman holds his wallet in, because it is in the way.
It is in the way. I hate it. I hate your wallet, sir. Could you not?
Could you not? Like, you're in the way. Can you move that? Can you put it in your side, please?
Yes.
We got Corey who says it feels the only reason they let the Hardys be the ones to take the NXT belts as TNA talent is that they have a long history and a good relationship with WWE, rather than using TNA's own division. Yeah, it was 100%. The only other win besides the elimination matchup, which I'll give them credit, the elimination matchup they won, I felt like it was more they protected Ricky than making the TNA guys look good, since Ricky had to overcome 4-on-1 and got to half and made it 2-on-1. And then in the end, it took 2 of them to beat 1 of him. So I think they did a good job of protecting Ricky, but I don't think they did the best job of putting over TNA guys, but they did have them win. But yeah, this was definitely the Hardys winning was definitely them saying, okay, we'll let them win because they're known as WWE guys. They're not known as TNA guys.
All of the women on the TNA team are former NXT women.
They didn't even let TNA women wrestle on this show.
Yes, and the woman that was leading the TNA women's team is apart from NXT. It's so weird. Also, what Santana did was totally no sell Moose's spear.
He did.
Absolutely no sell his spear.
He did though.
That was the stupidest thing. I like it because I hate Moose's spear.
I like Moose's
fucking I hate it because it's the same spear that Bobby Lashley does, and I don't like.
You don't like the front flip? I feel
No,
like
I hate
it looks like it has more momentum. It looks better than Jey Uso's spear.
Anything looks better than a
To be fair, yes, but
Yes.
that is the standard. It looks better than Charlotte's spear. It looks better than I think it even I like Ricky Saint's spear, but I think that
Ricky Saints'
Moose-
spear is really good.
I think Moose and Bobby Lashley's spear looks better.
That's a personal preference, I suppose, because I love Braun Breaker's spear. That's really good.
Braun Breaker has the best spear right now.
Yeah, fuck Goldberg. I enjoyed immensely Caitlyn's spear. If we go back to, senior citizen wrestling.
Home wrestling. Yeah, all of those spears, except for Jey Uso's, are better than Edge's spear. I like the roll through spear. Looks like it's adding more impact. I know it's not, but it looks like it. That's the key. Yeah, I feel like Ricky Saints is more of like a more impactful version of Christian spear.
Yeah, I hate Edge's spear. I don't
like many things. Christian even does the spear better than Edge.
Go figure.
So there you have it. We did our spear ranking there.
Yes.
He got Corey Michaels. It says Booker T straight up almost turned into Quagmire from Family Guy mid-match, saying "giggity giggity." Yeah, he did that when Lola Vice was doing the "I'm a Latina" hip attack. No comment.
Can we remove Booker T from commentary? And Dion, you're absolutely right. The fact that I have noticed how devastating Caitlyn's spear is because of AJ Lee selling.
Yeah,
she was dead. She was just dead.
her body would go limp. But
Yep.
let's get into the main event of WWE Crown Jewel for the Men's Crown Jewel Championship. The undisputed WWE champion, Cody Rhodes, will go one-on-one with World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. These two men have a long history with one another. When Cody Rhodes made his return to WWE in 2022, it was Seth Rollins who was his opponent at WrestleMania 38. Cody used the element of surprise and he picked up a victory over Seth Rollins to reestablish himself back in the company. From there, he beat him again at Backlash due to a handful of tights. And then finally, after an attack from Seth, they decided to settle things inside of Hell in a Cell due to an injury suffered during training. Cody Rhodes went into that matchup with a black and blue chest, basically, with a torn pectoral muscle that it was injured, and he would be forced to have surgery immediately following the matchup, but he gutted it through for nearly 30 minutes. They took each other to hell. Cody picked up his third straight win over Seth. They separated for a while. Cody went to finish his story, but came up short against Roman at WrestleMania 39. And when he got another opportunity after winning the Royal Rumble, he looked to get another rematch against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. Seth wanted to give him another option, offered him a World Heavyweight Championship matchup. But when The Rock tried to take his spot, Cody said no. He wanted his shot against Roman at WrestleMania 40. And that's when Seth stepped in and wanted to be his shield against Roman, The Rock, and the Bloodline. They teamed together at WrestleMania 40. They lost against Roman and The Rock, but it was Seth who was the key distraction to Roman Reigns when Cody Rhodes finished his story, defeated Roman Reigns, and his 1,300-day reign, and became the undisputed WWE champion. But Seth says that Cody betrayed everything that they did together when he teamed with Roman Reigns at WWE Bad Blood 2024. He betrayed Seth Rollins there, which led to Rollins' transformation that we've seen over the last couple of months, where he aligned with the man that rose to the top with Roman Reigns as his wise man and his now oracle, Paul Heyman, to create the Vision. With his wife, Becky Lynch, by his side, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed laying out bodies ahead of him. Seth Rollins has become the world heavyweight champion. He has had a facade this whole entire time, but it has been Cody Rhodes that has revealed the real Seth behind all of this. A vulnerable Seth, an insecure Seth, who doesn't know how to view himself, who doesn't know how Cody views himself, how Cody views him. And Cody is confused on if Seth is pulling the strings of all of this. Did he send the Braun Stars to SmackDown to go after Cody? Did he have Paul Heyman introduce Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza? Brock Lesnar has been mentioned more than once in the build-up to this matchup. Paul Heyman has let Seth Rollins know that if he loses this matchup, he will lose the faith of Braun Breaker. He will lose a follower in Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman will have to question if he made the right decision choosing Rollins over Reigns. This has been probably the most interesting story Seth Rollins has told since he turned heel at WrestleMania 41, because he's not just, I'm a revolutionary, he's actually a person. An actual interesting character who's insecure. It was like he's been doing a whole facade. He's been the Scarlet Witch who's just been manipulating reality. But then Cody came, and Cody's been the trigger point that's just been like, oh, fuck. All of this has been a farce. I don't believe in myself. I'm facing the guy that's beaten me 3 times. I'm facing the guy that did everything that I said I was going to do to Roman Reigns. Like, he's the guy that has exposed Seth, and it's been the most interesting Seth has been in so long. Thank you, Cody. Maggie, what have you thought about the build, the story?
Cody has
who wins on Saturday?
Do that. Fuck Cody.
Who wins on Saturday?
Okay. Seth needs to win this. Please, Seth needs to win this. I am not here for another Cody versus Seth match in which Cody wins. There's no reason for that. Please, it's I know that this could be the start of the end for the Vision, but no. The thing I think that they cannot help themselves, I think Brock Lesnar costs Cody Rhodes this match. I don't know if they can fly Brock Lesnar to Australia just to do that, but hell, AJ Styles flew miles just to fuck over people. Who did he fuck over?
LA Knight.
LA Knight. Yes,
Elimination
Chamber. Correct. Yes.
And he went to Mexico to screw over Dom at Triple Mania.
Well, Mexico's there.
He's still traveling into another country.
Yeah, sure. I get that. But like, Australia is fucking 22 hours away. It's a 22-hour flight. I know it depends on where you're flying. Yeah, but like, it's a 22-hour flight. I don't know if they do that to Brock. I mean, because Brock Lesnar has been so heavily mentioned in that feud, that's the reason why I think that something like this could happen. By all means, I would prefer it not happening, because I don't want to see Brock Lesnar. I don't need Brock Lesnar. I don't think anyone needs Brock Lesnar on my television. No. But I'm a Seth girly. I've made that abundantly clear. And while I did say that I absolutely totally understand everyone's criticism towards Seth while he's, a heel, because it made no sense and it was kind of boring, and he did everything that he used to do when he was a face, but like, what's the difference? I like, if someone says that they still don't like Seth right now, the I don't get it, because everything that you said before was the absolute truth, because he's showing so much insecurities and he's sounding like a person, then that right now is the time where you show sympathy and you start cheering for the guys. But that's not how you should be acting.
He's showing the depth that Roman Reigns had when he was the centerpiece of WWE.
Absolutely, yes. And he was like, what if I lose? And Paul Heyman was like brushing it off from the beginning. Oh, well, that's why you're not gonna lose. And he was like, no, but what if I lose? And Paul Heyman kept pushing it aside. He was like, no, but Paul, what if I lose? And I was like, okay, what are we getting here? And then Paul said everything that he said afterwards, that he's gonna think about, him choosing him than Roman. He's gonna lose the locker room, everything that he built now. And I was like, well, he didn't build anything. He's not gonna lose anything there, because it's the same.
It's really the same, sir.
Really, that's because he's built nothing. He said that he was gonna lose Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I understand that if a potential loss to Cody Rhodes is setting up Braun Breaker, possibly getting in Seth's face and, doing his thing. And while I get it, and I don't need years and years and years of division, I don't need that. I still kind of feel like it's a bit too early for that. I mean, you
I
can
agree.
start it. You can start it at the end of December, the beginning of January during Royal Rumble season. Um, I still think it's kind of early. You can do, because right now the whole vision itself is a bit weird, because like I said previously, you have Seth and Becky, and then you have the Braun Stars and Paul Heyman. Like, you haven't seen them
They don't
on.
the worlds don't interact unless you see
No,
them arrive at the building together before the show starts.
let's not count that, because it's weird. And that's the whole thing. I don't think that now is the time. You can put him back together, and then you can underline how important this eventual thing is. That's why I'm gonna pick Seth here, and because I'm a Seth girly. It's, because I love Seth so much. How pissed off I'm gonna be if Cody Rhodes wins. Fuck Cody, man. Oh my god.
Like I said before, I've really enjoyed Seth Rollins in the build up to the show. This build up has felt like the first time that Seth Rollins feels like a top tier star. He's always felt like third, fourth, fifth in the line in regards to the
Even when
top
he
star
was a
conversation.
champion.
Yeah, even when he was a
champion.
champion, he was like third, fourth, fifth in the line.
Mhm,
This
mhm.
actually feels like he's got so much history with all the top players, like the other three top stars. He's got the history with CM Punk. He's got his history with Roman Reigns. He's got his history with Cody Rhodes. Like, yeah, I really enjoyed this work. That's why I think that the right decision is Cody Rhodes winning, because Seth's gonna win, and he's just gonna go back to I'm a revolutionary, I'm a visionary. Oh God, you ruined everything. Go back to
doesn't
being
have
a
to.
loser.
He doesn't have to.
He's going to. That's what WWE does.
Well, they can book him better.
I don't
He doesn't
know
need
how.
to lose. He doesn't need to lose to be a better on-screen character. Fuck, man.
Hey, Power Driver finisher, you said win or lose, he's gonna be that. No, there's a better chance of him not being that if he loses. Am I saying he's gonna lose? No, they've made it quite obvious that Seth Rollins winning this match. So I'm going with Seth Rollins, but I think I am making the argument that the better result is Cody winning because I want Seth Rollins to be interesting. I am more interested in Seth Rollins coming out of this matchup after this build-up to this matchup, regardless of the result. But I'm much more interested in Seth Rollins if he loses and have to deal with the consequences of that loss, a loss of faith of the members of the Vision, Paul Heyman looking at him sideways, even Becky Lynch, his own wife, feeling like she's the one that's doing all the work here for the Vision and he's not helping out that much. I would love that dynamic than just going back to the status quo of the Vision not being a very good lead stable so far. So far, it hasn't been so far so good when it comes to the Vision being the top stable. They have left something to be desired.
It's still the Judgment Day, and
it's
it pains me.
Not them. It's definitely not them.
Well, who it is then? The faction that runs Raw.
It's still the Bloodline. It's unfortunately still the Bloodline. They're not even calling it the Bloodline, and it's still the Bloodline. It's Roman and the Usos is the other interesting story that's going on the Monday Night Raw. Like they can hide it and say, "Oh, it's not the Bloodline. It's still the Bloodline. It's still the lead faction."
You know, you can be wrong every now and then. Just FYI, you have that option.
I try not to be.
You have that option.
Well, we have made it to the end of our preview here for WWE Crown Jewel Perth. Want to thank you all for joining us. If you haven't already, drop the thumbs up on the video. That helps us out so much. You can also share it, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. We'll be live once again with our third preview for the week tomorrow at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Me and Joel Pearl will be here to preview TNA Bound for Glory 2025 and ask the question, can Santana finally beat Trick, and talk about the Hardys versus the Dudleys, a dream match in 2025. Yeah. That should be fun. But yes, we got to thank Maggie for joining us today for our WWE Crown Jewel Perth preview. As always, Maggie, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they shall see you again.
Thank you guys so much for having me once again. Let's hope Santana can take that championship back to TNA. Fingers crossed. But like, guys, you can follow me on X or Twitter, Twix, or whatever you guys want to call it, at Maggie_IK, on Instagram at Maggie.IK. I don't think I'm using the Blue Sky thing as much as I used to, but like, if you guys are still doing that, you can catch me there at Maggie-IK, which is so weird to say. You can catch me every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern on Fightful Overbooked for Coexisting with Rob and Maggie. A bunch of shenanigans, if you guys are fans of that. You obviously are with SP3 and I. Please subscribe to Fightful Select on Patreon, the easiest $5.99 that you're ever going to spend on wrestling. You can might as well cash in for an entire year and get a bit of a discount before Jimmy Van ups the prices up again. But thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you as always, Maggie. We got one final super chat donation here from Dion Jenkins. Thank you so much, Dion, for the support. He says, when Seth wins, and he goes right back to, I'm the visionary, I'm the revolutionary, I am Seth freaking Rollins. Give me a break. Lame ass gimmick. I agree. I agree. I do not want this to happen. I want him to be this interesting, insecure, vulnerable heel. That is an interesting heel. We learned from Roman that that's interesting. Steph, stick with that. Don't just try to be your babyface character as a heel. It does not work.
I love you, Seth. Whatever you do. I'm not judging.
She's like, whatever decision you make, I'm riding with you.
I'm riding with you, Seth.
Thank you, Dion, for the super chat donation. We appreciate you so much. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSB3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat. Patreon.com/TrueHillHeat. $3 a month. Get you exclusive content. The best place to support us when we are not live here. And check out our GOAT match series, our new series over at Patreon. Check out all the great content we got on the channel right now, like our NJPW King of Pro Wrestling 2025 preview that we did earlier this week with me and Jay News for next Monday's show. Check out yesterday's AE Ramble, where me and Jimmy Macaram, though 1 or 2 times a year, we review both AEW Dynamite and WWE NXT and learn why Jimmy thought both shows were mid. Check that out. That's yesterday's AE Ramble from yesterday. Me and Maggie will be back once again next week. We got AEW Wrestle Dream. So Maggie will be back with us then. Remember to drop the thumbs up, share the video, comment down below. For Maggie, it is me, your True Phenom SP3. This has been our WWE Crown Jewel 2025 preview. We are signing off until next time.